Eagles, touchdown. Rick Barnett comes away with it. Brandon Graham was one of the guys who got in there. And it's New England's only turnover of the game. Saves the sack, launching one for the end zone. It's a jump ball and it's incomplete. And Gronk was there. And time runs out.
This is the end of the game.
And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over. Finally.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
There's going to be a parade on Broad Street. Hey, man, if this is a dream, don't wake me up. We're going to have a parade on Broad Street. Hey, grease up the poles. We're going to have a parade.
The Eagles have won the Super Bowl.
Oh, my goodness.
41-33. And, Mike, I'm going to give you my MVP, Nick Foles.
No question about it.
What is up, everybody? Chris Smith here with AllProNation.com, and you are listening to the fastest growing NFL talk podcast on the planet today. You are tuned in to the All Pro Nation podcast. I got with me, as always, Tanner. Tanner, how you doing tonight?
Can't complain, man. How about you?
Man, you know, I'm doing okay.
Sad football's done.
Yeah, man, it kind of sucks. You gotta wait all the way till frickin' July, August for training camp, and all the way till next September for football, and it's like, ugh.
I know it.
I saw something today on social media. I can't remember the exact number, but I think it was like 251 days until the regular season kicks off. Something
It seems like an eternity.
It does. But it'll be here before you know it. Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's kind of something big happened this past Sunday.
52.
Yeah, the 50-second halftime show at Justin Timberlake. That was crazy, huh?
It was a pretty good show.
Nothing else important happened that night.
He's a good white dancer.
Dude, the tribute to Prince was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
So
That was
good. So good. And you know Prince would have been performing that halftime show had he still been with us.
Oh, without a doubt.
So good. But I guess what more people are going to be tuning into the podcast is to hear about what we just gave them a little teaser of in that intro. Philadelphia Eagles. Their first Super Bowl, man. First Super Bowl.
First Super Bowl in team history. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the team, the owner, for the fans. I don't congratulate you because you guys are terrible.
I didn't realize this, but the story that they did on Jeff Lurie about how he tried to buy the Patriots, but he was outbid by Robert Kraft. So he ended up buying the Eagles instead. I thought that was pretty interesting.
It is interesting. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. But with the Eagles win, they get off the list of teams that do not have a Super Bowl victory. There's now only 12 teams left on that list.
Yep.
We have the Arizona Cardinals, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, the Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, LA Chargers, Detroit Lions, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers. And did I miss one? I think that's all of them.
Yep, I think that's
Oh,
all
I
of them.
did miss one. The Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, 0-4.
You'll get there one day. So the Bills are 0-4 too, aren't they?
Hey, we got no problem getting there. We got a problem winning one.
Dude, yeah, that's one thing about Minnesota. I don't think there's another team in NFL history that has either gotten there or been close to getting there as many times as the Vikings.
Yeah, that was actually a trivia question on our local radio station the other day, or Monday morning. Yeah, that's what it was. The first two teams to make 4 Super Bowls and lose all of them. Which 2 teams was it? Vikings, Bills.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the Vikings have been in the NFC Championship game numerous times that they didn't make it to the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yep, they have.
they've been there, man. They've sniffed it. One day it's going to happen. The Eagles fans thought they were cursed and they never see it, and now they do. So
Mm-hmm.
I know. Growing up as a Saints fan, I never ever expected to see a Super Bowl trophy, and I think it's better. You know what? I think that when you're a fan of one of these franchises that has suffered for so long,
It means that much more.
it does. It does. Like I don't know how Patriots fans continue to get excited year in and year out. Or Cowboys fans of the 90s. You know, like
Steelers.
yeah, the Steelers, the Packers.
All the dynasty teams.
Yeah, it's like, man, like how did they get excited about a Super Bowl? It's almost like if they didn't get a Super Bowl, it was a letdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I know the people in Philadelphia are ecstatic right now. Um, and you know what? I know the feeling. Tanner's gonna know the feeling one day soon. So I'm happy. I'm happy for Philadelphia. It was a great game.
It was a very good game.
No defense, a lot of offense. I wouldn't have minded to see a little defense every now and then, but all in all, a good game.
Yeah, the Eagles punted the ball one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, the Eagles punted the ball one time, and the Patriots didn't punt once.
Yeah.
So that tells you all you need to know about what kind of offense was played in that game and what kind of defense was played in that game.
And I think the craziest part of this whole Super Bowl is that the 2018 Philadelphia Eagles will have the 2017 Super Bowl MVP as their backup quarterback.
Maybe.
Although Nick Foles says that he doesn't want to be traded or go to another team. I saw something earlier that he would contemplate retirement if he got shipped out of Philadelphia.
Well, I think the Eagles would be stupid not to keep him, but the big question is whether or not Carson Wentz will be back week 1 from his injury, because it was recently reported that his knee injury was a little bit more severe than what they thought it was originally. So
yeah,
he might not be back for the first week. So then in that case, Nick Foles would still be the starter.
Yeah. So I mean, he's still under contract in Philadelphia. So if they shipped him off, it would be via trade.
Yeah.
And I could see a team that has a lot of draft picks, aka the Cleveland Browns, overpaying for Nick Foles in draft picks. I mean, I could see it, and I don't know. I mean, I get that. I get that that Nick Foles wouldn't want to go anywhere. I get that they may need him, but man, how do you turn down the Cleveland Browns giving you a first-round draft pick?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly 2 first-round draft picks.
You don't turn it down.
You don't. I mean, I'm just saying. You don't turn it down. You trade him, and then you let him work out whatever he's got to work out and with Cleveland, and you run away with your 2 draft picks and win you another Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's my opinion. That was crazy. The Malcolm Butler thing is just nuts.
Malcolm Butler thing. The hit?
Malcolm Butler, not Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler, who played one snap on special teams.
Yeah, he came out in a tweet today or Instagram post too, and said that he never broke any team violations and he did not miss a curfew. Yeah. So I have no idea what's going on in New England. That's nuts.
So let me ask you: is what Bill Belichick?
He must have slept with Bill Belichick's wife or something.
Oh God. Let's reevaluate this. So last offseason, Patriots refused to sign him to a long-term deal. He goes to New Orleans. New Orleans, verbally agrees with him on a $52 million contract. New Orleans tries to make the trade with New England.
Mm-hmm.
They shut it down. Bill Belichick essentially cost this man $52 million. He goes out. He has a decent season. He played 94% of the snaps, was the team's leading tackler.
No, he did not have a good season.
It was decent. Come on, give the man credit.
I don't think he met expectations this year.
No, but I mean, I think he. But did he meet? Did he meet realistic expectations, or did he? Or I'm sorry, did he not meet realistic expectations, or did he not meet expectations of the guy who intercepted Russell Wilson in the end zone to win a Super Bowl? What are we holding him to?
I don't know. It kind of whichever expectation you'd like to hold him to. I guess I had him rated as like a top 15 corner this year. Right now, I don't even know if he's top 32.
No, he get out of here.
Yeah,
get out. Of here.
He was bad this year.
But he wasn't that bad. He was easily top 15.
The Patriots defense as a whole is terrible this year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he had a good year. He definitely had a down year.
Stephon Gilmore played better than he did.
No, I don't think so. I would disagree.
Well, agree to disagree.
But anyways, and now Bill Belichick benches him in the Super Bowl. So this is Malcolm Butler's last year, right? Doesn't get the long-term deal in New England. Is verbally agrees to a deal for $52 million in New Orleans if New Orleans can make the trade happen. New Orleans threw everything but the kitchen sink at New England to get Malcolm Butler. They still said no. Screws Malcolm Butler out of $52 million, benches him, and tells him right before the game that you're not playing in the Super Bowl. Is this the most dick thing that a head coach has ever done to a player in a Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
Other than maybe...
It might have cost them the game, too.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely cost them the game. Because Nick Foles was throwing right at Roll the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely cost them the game. Which makes me...
You could not get stops.
Yeah, which lends me to believe that something actually happened. Because you don't practice with... Bill Belichick wouldn't have him practice the whole week. Game plan around him being there. And then say, nah, I'm... Whatever their history is, I'm not going to let you play. And screw his whole game plan up unless something happens.
So we speculate on that, and then the team comes out and says that, he was messing around in practice, he missed curfew, and then Butler comes out today and throws gas on the fire and says that none of that happened. So who do you believe?
I think I tend to believe the Patriots, personally.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Malcolm Butler has a history of behavioral problems, too. Don't forget that.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I haven't really followed his career that closely, so I couldn't tell you. But I just think that seems really weird to me. It seems really weird that weird. I mean, if you're gonna bench him for a half or a quarter, even the first quarter, yeah, okay, fine. He broke some team violations, but they benched him the entire game of the biggest game of the year, and he's one of your best defenders.
Yeah, I mean,
that doesn't make sense. So it had to be. I think there's more to the story. There has to be more to the story.
yeah, I agree. I mean, and is the Super Bowl really the time to play field general and say, oh, well, you broke team rules? I mean, this is the last game of the year. Is this really the time to do that with a player, mind you, that is a free agent?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't you just suck it up and say, man, get out there and at least just win me the Super Bowl? Or does that make Bill Belichick look weak and he leaves the locker room?
I don't know. It seems really weird to hear that type of a sentence. Yeah. Belichick losing a locker room.
Yeah, what was I thinking? That was crazy.
I don't know. I think another thing in this game that made a huge difference was Brandon Cooks' injury.
Oh.
Granted, the Patriots still scored on almost every possession that they had. I think he would have made a big difference down the stretch.
Yeah.
He was having a good first half.
Yeah, he was.
Before he got hurt, so it must have been a pretty severe concussion because they reported it within like 10 minutes that he wasn't coming back.
I mean, and can I just rant for a second and say that why was there no flag thrown on Jenkins for that?
Oh, well, it's the NFL. Inconsistency.
I mean, who's your boy that not with Jacksonville that knocked Gronk out a couple of weeks ago?
Barry Church.
Yeah, Barry Church. I mean, the hits looked very similar to me.
Oh, this one was a little harder.
Yeah.
He's not quite as big as Gronk.
I mean, dude laid Brandon Cooks out.
Oh, yeah.
Laid him out.
Yeah, he wasn't moving.
Yeah. And
looked pretty dangerous, actually.
It was scary for sure. I'll tell you something else that I think was a game changer in this game. And I'm not going to rant on it too long, I promise you. But we knew this has been an issue all year. It's been an issue for years, but this year especially has been an issue. And so you knew that it was going to rear its ugly head in the Super Bowl. What in God's name is a freaking catch?
Oh, okay. Did you think that was a catch?
Oh, I thought they were both catches. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought they were both catches.
I actually thought you were going to say it wasn't a catch, so no. I was going to argue with you.
No, I absolutely think they're both catches, which makes me believe that I also believe that Jesse James's catch that was ruled an incomplete pass was also a catch and a touchdown.
Yep.
And that Zach Ertz touchdown looked almost identical to that Jesse James play.
Yep. And consistency.
You know, by NFL rules, the other touchdown that was in question, Clement.
Corey Clement.
Yeah, Corey Clement. But I mean, by NFL rules, the ball was moving. He did not have "quote unquote" possession of the ball, and when he did have possession of the ball, he did not get 2 feet in bounds. That's the NFL rule.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like for them to go back to catch rule just being, backyard football rules, right? Like, if you got the ball, you got the ball.
Right.
I don't need all this. You got to maintain.
They were both absolutely catches.
Yeah, I don't need any of this. Oh, you've got to establish possession, make a football move, establish yourself as a runner, whatever all this bull crap they want us to call. A catch is a freaking catch.
They could probably get some new announcers too.
Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth.
He's terrible.
He was 100%. He 100% believed that Zach Ertz's touchdown was not a catch.
Well, but he called the Patriots Steelers game with the Jesse James catch.
Oh, what did he say in that one? I guess
What-
I don't remember.
Wasn't that? But that game was Monday Night Football, correct?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
John Gruden and
Okay,
Sean McDonald.
So, that was John. All right, I was thinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does Sunday night.
You're right. I mean, I think that. I mean, I think that was his point, though. Was, I mean, how you can't if you're gonna call Jesse James an incomplete pass, Zach Ertz had to be called an incomplete pass. Had to be.
Yeah, could you imagine? Imagine how mad Cowboys fans are. Des Bryant's catch it was like the same thing.
Yeah.
Des Bryant's was incomplete, and Zach Ertz is a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, and one could argue if the Steelers, if Jesse James, if that's considered a touchdown, the Steelers win that game.
Mm-hmm. They're the one seed.
They're the one seed. There's an argument that the Patriots aren't even in the Super Bowl.
Right.
I think it's a bad argument because I don't know if the Steelers would have beaten Jacksonville.
There's a lot of things that can go into that.
Yeah.
Vikings playing the Panthers. Vikings played the Panthers. Adam Thielen had a questionable touchdown catch as well. And if he catches that, there's a good chance Cam Newton doesn't run a touchdown on the next drive and go up 7. And the Vikings could have been the 1 seed hosting Philly in the NFC Championship game. So there's always games throughout the year that could play a difference.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man. This catch rule has got to be addressed.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I know I mean, Roger Goodell's already stated it's like number 1 priority.
Yeah.
For the off season.
Oh, it's got to be.
I'm curious to see what they figure out, but he knows it's an issue. People are giving him shit about it. They even did it at the award show.
Oh, the award show is so good.
Yeah.
You know how much I love McAdoo. And so hearing Rob Riggle say McAdoo looks like the Radio Shack manager your mom started dating after the divorce.
I did not hear that.
Oh, you didn't hear that? That was my favorite one.
I did not hear that. I figured out I saw a tweet about it or something, but no, I didn't.
McAdoo looks like the Radio Shack manager your mom dated after her divorce.
It's funny.
So good. Rob Riggle was an awesome host.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't get to catch the award show live. I had it recorded and went back and watched it, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And then I guess one other thing that I can say about this game of why the Eagles won over the Patriots, frickin' Doug Peterson was aggressive.
Oh, Doug Peterson's been so good in the playoffs.
His play calling has been top notch. Now,
there's not a team in the league that can defend it.
No.
It's just he's all over the place.
I mean,
he had one bad call. I remember he threw a really bad screen to Nelson Aguilar on like 2nd and 15 or something like that. But that was the only bad call I think during the game.
I mean, to go for it 4th and 2 at the end zone and risk not getting a touchdown and getting 0 points instead of kicking the field goal and getting 3 and giving Tom Brady the ball. And
balls.
Balls.
That's exactly what that is.
And then the play that he called, you're gonna trust the running back to throw a touchdown to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, balls. Then the 4th and 1 pass to Zach Ertz. I mean, no, they did the little pick play right there. I think if the pick wasn't done precisely, I think New England's in position to stop Ertz from getting it. But I mean, dude, those were gutsy calls.
Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah, it was good, and Nick Foles just played phenomenal. I almost
there's a lot of people out there that of saying he actually outdueled Brady. He did not outduel Brady, but he
no.
played like an MVP.
Oh, absolutely. No, he didn't outduel Brady by any stretch of the imagination.
I keep reading that, and I don't like when people say that because it's not true. Brady scored on almost every possession that he had to.
Yeah.
Against a much tougher defense in Philadelphia than Nick Foles facing in New England.
Well, it's funny. Again, anybody who joined us for the live All Pro Nation podcast, so sorry about all the technical difficulties. I know there were a bunch of people jumping on when we were having them, and whatnot, and they ended up leaving and not being able to see it. So we did end up putting something up, but it wasn't a big production that we were hoping for. Again, so sorry about that. But so what you didn't get to hear on the Super Bowl show was one of my interviews that I did, and I did it with Nick Divan. Everybody who's been listening to us since episode 1 will remember.
Good old Nick.
Nick is what we call the Godfather of All Pro Nation. He's the mastermind behind it. But anyway, so I did an interview with Nick, and Nick said that he predicted the Patriots to win, but he said he thought that it was going to be a defensive game, and he said the one thing that Philadelphia does not want to see is for this game to be all offense and this getting into a shootout between Nick Foles and Tom Brady. He said if that happens, Patriots win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Boy, was he wrong. But I think anybody would have said, I thought the same thing when he said, I didn't disagree with him.
Right.
I said, yeah, if this gets into a shootout, there's no
in
chance.
Our show we were talking about how what Philadelphia needed to do is keep Brady off the field, and I don't really think that they succeeded in doing that. And I remember I even said at halftime Philadelphia has to go into halftime with the lead, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
But Tom Brady was going to come back, and he did do that. But yeah, a shootout. An offensive shootout is definitely not what we expected.
And here's the crazy part. Other than Philadelphia's first drive where they had the ball for about half or a little over half the first quarter. Outside of that, man, they were scoring way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
They were scoring and letting Brady right back on the field. They were.
Well, they were getting 5-6 yards a pop.
Yeah.
Every play.
Yeah.
Dump offs and runs. They didn't have an answer for Blunt or Zay.
Yeah. So, I would have never in a million years thought that Nick Foles would have won a shutout a shootout. I'm sorry, against Tom Brady, but he did, and granted, Brady had the better game, but Foles played like a Super Bowl MVP and deserves that trip to Disney World. No question about it. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, and it's another thing about Foles is it's crazy to think that just 2 years ago he was contemplating retiring and getting out of football. The Jeff Fisher disease had gotten to him so bad that he didn't even want to play football anymore. And now, 2 years later, he's Super Bowl MVP. I mean, that's a story, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else about this game that you want to?
Bold prediction. You heard it here first. Tanner Weber, All Pro Nation. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have coached in their last Super Bowl or played in their last Super Bowl together. Book it.
Do you want me to respond to this or?
I mean, you can do whatever you want with it. That's all I got to throw in with my hot take for this game. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
The dynasty in New England is over.
I guess we'll transition right into the New England dynasty.
Can we save that clip? Come back to that next year.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do that. Save that clip.
All right, let me jot this down. This is on February 6th,
2018 at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on the dot.
Well, yeah.
Central Time.
In the recording though, it's at 920 seconds.
Gotcha.
So write that down.
Absolutely.
So that way I can go back to it.
It's my hot take.
It's your hot take. Also, before we transition real quick, Super Bowl predictions. I did pick the Eagles to win. Thank you very much. Tanner picked the Patriots to win. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll take my win now.
Yeah, my playoffs are bad this year. I went 6-5.
Ooh. I was not even close on the score. I think what did I say on the score? Shoot, I don't remember what I said.
I don't think I kept it.
No, but it was I think I said 28-17 or something.
Okay.
And you made the comment, "Ooh, that's not even close." And I said, "Yeah, I think the Eagles will win by more than a touchdown."
Yeah, I did not see that happening. I definitely didn't see what was it, like 70 points scored between 70-some points scored between the two teams.
Yeah, 41-33 was the final score.
I didn't see that happening either.
Yeah. All right, so let's transition. So Tanner's hot take is the Patriots dynasty is over, blah, 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 whatever. But like all good things, they come to an end. Matt Patricia was hired officially as the head coach of the Detroit Lions. We've kind of speculated this. It's kind of been around for a couple weeks, but now it is official. And what do you think of the hire?
The Matt Patricia hire?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really too ecstatic about it, to be honest with you. I've heard good things about Matt Patricia. He's a player's coach.
It's in your division.
He's like it's like saying he's one of the guys in the locker room or whatever. But I feel like New England's always had just like mediocre at best defenses, and then Brady. And granted, this year they were below average, in my opinion. So I just don't know what kind of impact he's going to have in that organization. I'm really curious. I think the players are like him, but just from like a production standpoint, I'm just not really excited about it.
Well, the Patriots.
He doesn't scare me, I guess is what I should say.
The Patriots just don't pay anybody. They pay one man, Tom Brady, and they don't even pay him what he's truly worth.
Patricia?
No, New England.
Oh.
They pay one man. They pay Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So, and they just rotate talent, man. They'll bring, like, they brought Revis in for 1 year, then cut him. Brandon Browner, then cut him. I mean, that's what they do. They'll secure talent for a year, and then they let them go because they're not going to pay anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be on the hook for all that money.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I'm guessing who's the Patriots linebacker coach? I'm guessing he's going to be the one that gets promoted.
Yeah,
he was actually.
I
think the Cardinals are thinking about bringing him in.
They were. And if they would have made that hire, it was reported that the the Patriots would have reached out to the Saints secondary coach to be the head coach or to be the defensive coordinator.
D coordinator, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which would have been a huge blow. Aaron Glenn has really turned the Saints secondary around, and that would have been a huge blow to the Saints coaching staff had they lost him. So I think the Saints organization is happy that he didn't get that head coaching job in Arizona, and that'll make Aaron Glenn stay put. But yeah, he's expected to be the defensive coordinator, which is on par with what Bill Belichick does. You know, Matt Patricia started off as an offensive assistant in New England.
An offensive assistant?
Yep, and 14 years ago, he started off as an offensive assistant. Then he moved to an assistant offensive line coach. Then he moved to a linebackers coach. Then he got promoted to defensive coordinator.
Working his way up, huh?
That's Matt Patricia.
Got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm. His entire coaching career has been in New England for the last 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, leaving New England couldn't have been easy for him. I think of all the jobs that were available, I think Detroit is the best one for him because Detroit's got a good team already. They're missing a couple pieces. They could use another cornerback, which coincidentally there's one coming out of New England that's a free agent.
Yep.
It almost seems like he's destined.
I mentioned that on Twitter today, actually.
Yeah.
But I had somebody mention to me it seems like he's going to want a fresh start somewhere, which I could see that as well. He's maybe go somewhere where he doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Just kind of make a new name for himself. But I don't know what kind of impact Patricia had on the game Sunday.
Yeah, I don't either. But
or the decision that went into his benching. So.
Oh, he did. He didn't have a decision. Bill Belichick made that on his own.
That's kind of what I told the guy that tweeted me. I said I'm guessing Belichick's the one that made the decision because Patricia's known for being a player's coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he'd want to step on anybody's toes.
And
if he did have have a impact on the decision, I'm guessing he wouldn't have did more than a quarter.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that he was benched the entire game. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then the biggest news of the day. So it was reported this morning that offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels had been announced as the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And then literally
press conference is set for tomorrow.
Yeah, and then literally minutes before me and Tanner hopped on the podcast to start recording, it was reported, and by the time you guys listen to this, it's not going to be breaking news anymore. It's going to be old news. But it was reported just now that Josh McDaniels is not accepting the offer to become the Indianapolis head coach and is staying in New England.
Super interesting.
Super interesting.
Curious what went into that decision.
Colts released a statement saying after agreeing to contract terms to become the Indianapolis Colts' new head coach, New England Patriots assistant coach Josh McDaniels this evening informed us that he would not be joining our team. Although we are surprised and disappointed, we will resume our head coaching search immediately and find the right fit to lead our team and organization on and off the field. There's been no word from the Patriots or Josh McDaniels yet. I will say this. It was reported by Mike Florio during the Super Bowl that he had connections close to the Patriots, saying that Bill Belichick was contemplating retirement, and that if he did indeed decide to retire, that owner Robert Kraft would promote Josh McDaniels to the head coach position of New England. Kinda is interesting there, huh?
Very. I'd be shocked if Belichick retired, but he's 65. He'll be 66 in April. I guess it wouldn't surprise me if he retired, but Mostly because of all the stuff that's been going on in the past month and a half or whatever.
Well,
It seems like there's been a lot of controversy in
yeah,
New England.
it just makes you wonder about about all the about all this stuff that was going on uh, between all the reports coming out between him and Robert Kraft and Tom Brady about Jimmy Garoppolo, and kind of makes you wonder if there was any truth to that. They kind of blew it off and said that there was nothing to it. Um, so it, but now it makes you wonder if that was true.
Well, they very well could have blew that off because playoffs is just starting and they don't want any type of cancer in the locker room or reports floating around and media reporters bugging the team about, oh, was this said? Was this said? So, I mean, that's how things get overblown when stuff like that comes out. So I could see why they kind of swept it under the rug if it actually did happen.
Yeah. Um, and then, of course, too, it was reported that after Matt Patricia had informed the Patriots that he would be taking the Detroit Lions job earlier last week, that owner Robert Kraft personally brought McDaniels into his office to try to persuade him to stay in New England. Um, Now, again, was that persuasion? Hey, Bill's going to be retiring soon, and we make you the head coach here if you stick around. Does that mean that Bill's going to retire this year, and McDaniels will be the head coach for 2018, or is Bill going to give it one more year, and then McDaniels will be the head coach in 2019? And there's so many possibilities.
Yep.
So, um,
Yep, New England will be an off-season focus, I think.
yeah, it's
Curious to see what happens there.
And what's crazy is McDaniels interviewed for a lot of jobs. I mean, he was pretty. He's been, especially the last couple years. I mean, he's been pretty aggressive in finding what he felt like was the right fit. And there's been a lot of speculation. Well, he could probably take this job. He could probably take that job, and it all came down to a fit thing. He didn't feel like such and such team was the right fit. But now, you kind of thought that, especially with Andrew Luck. Now I'm starting to wonder, what if McDaniels isn't sold that Andrew Luck will ever even come back?
Right.
I mean, God, there's so many questions I have about this.
Adam Schefter actually just tweeted 2 minutes ago. It says on Sunday, ESPN's the Mort report reported that there are still doctors who have concerns about Andrew Luck's shoulder and whether or not he could wind up needing additional surgery. So that very well could have affected his decision as well if he knew more about that.
Yeah. So,
actually, I'm seeing a name tossed around already on quite a few different accounts. Some professional with the verified check mark and some just rumor accounts. But Bill's defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, is that a possibility for the Colts head coach?
No.
He was with them in 2005 and 2006.
No.
Don't think so, huh?
You had to go through the Leslie Frazier disease. Would you want to relive that?
I don't think Leslie Frazier's a bad coach. I just don't think he's a good head coach.
No, exactly. There's a lot of good coaches out there that don't make good head coaches.
He just wasn't aggressive enough. He's like the most conservative defensive coordinator I've ever seen in my life. So
yeah.
But we won't go into that. That's just speculation. That's just the first name I've seen tossed around already.
And one more thing I kind of wanna bring up is one more point I kind of want to bring up is I wonder how successful Patricia will really be in Detroit if McDaniels was worried about being a head coach and his success. Because if he screws it up again, it's rare to get a third chance as a head coach. And so
he maybe thought that the Colts didn't have what it takes to make him successful.
right. And so I mean, and I'm
Oh
looking.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking here at a list of past Bill Belichick, coaches that come out of his coaching tree, and their success, and it's not good. The most successful one is Bill O'Brien at 31-33, a losing record, 31-33. You got Eric Mangini when he was with the Jets, went 23-25. Nick Saban with the Dolphins at 15-17. Now, obviously, he's been very successful in college. Josh McDaniels in Denver was 11-17. Romeo Crennel, when he was with the Browns, went 24-40.
We don't count the Browns, Chris.
Yeah, that's true. Jim Schwartz went 29-51. In Detroit, Eric Mangini again with the Browns, 10-22. Then Romeo Crennel again in Kansas City went 4-15.
Not successful.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes you wonder: is Bill Belichick even preparing his assistants for head coaching jobs?
You don't care.
Yeah,
he just does his things and wins Super Bowls.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is like the biggest story to me. I'm so intrigued by the.
I never thought about that though. Yeah, if he's looking for a perfect fit, knowing he's only got one more chance, that's really interesting because the Colts don't have a lot there on defense right now, and if Andrew Luck's not ready to go, that would not surprise me one bit.
I think
if that
I think
made him back away a little bit.
I think that if the Titans wouldn't have come out with the show of faith, with help me out here. I'm drawing a blank on a name.
Mike Vrabel?
No, not Mike Vrabel. Coach that
Who are you talking about?
Coach that he just replaced.
Mike Mularkey.
Mike Mularkey. God, I couldn't think of that name. I think that if they wouldn't have come out with that, we stand behind Mike Mularkey and yada yada yada, and I think that if they wouldn't have done that and they would have interviewed Josh McDaniels during his bye week, I think Indianapolis or Tennessee would have been a perfect job for him, and I think he probably would have taken that one.
Oh, for sure.
I think Tennessee. I think they still got a really good coach in Mike Vrabel, but I really think that would have been an attractive place for McDaniels to go.
Yeah, they got a lot of pieces set up there.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting, man. I have a feeling over the course of the next couple of weeks, this will all kind of start to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you updated. All right, so now let's move into the NFL Honor Show.
Okay.
I'll run through the winners and then we can talk about it. Award that nobody really cares about: FedEx Aaron Ground Players of the Year went to Matt Ryan of the Falcons and Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys. The Built Ford Tough Offensive Line of the Year went to the Dallas Cowboys, which I think is garbage. Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award went to Frank Gore of the Indianapolis Colts. Salute to Service Award went to Dan Quinn of the Falcons. The Castro Edge Clutch Performer of the Year went to Derek Carr of the Oakland Raiders.
Are you looking at the right season?
2017, sir. Oh my God, that was 2000. I'm not.
Ezekiel Elliott hardly played this year, man.
Man, I'm looking at the wrong year. Come on. Let's start this over. God, I was thinking a lot of those names sounded.
Yeah, I was sitting here scratching my head on almost all those, and I'm like, okay, maybe last year, but not this year.
Oh my God!
Even the Cowboys' O-line was kind of trash this year.
That's why I said I don't really understand the offensive line, bro. I don't know what I'm thinking. Oh my God!
It's all good. It's all good.
All right.
Clean start. Here we go.
Clean start. Okay. All right. Awards nobody cares about. FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Year went to Carson Wentz and Todd Gurley. Hold on. Go away. Stupid pop-ups. Like NFL.com needs to fix that. All right. So FedEx Air and Ground went to Carson Wentz and Todd Gurley. Salute to Service Award went to Andre Roberts, Falcons wide receiver. Game Changer Award presented by Secret went to Sam Gordon. Offensive Line of the Year went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award went to Carolina Panthers linebacker Luke Kuechly. AP Assistant Coach of the Year went to Minnesota Vikings Offensive Coordinator Pat Shurmur. Castro Edge Clutch Performer of the Year went to New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees. Bridgestone Elite Performance Play of the Year went to the Minnesota Miracle. Don Shula NFL High School Coach of the Year Award went to some guy named Rob Garrett at Crenshaw High School.
What state is that in?
No idea.
Doesn't say.
Greatness on the Road Award went to Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. And I guess people do care about this one, but Walter Payton Man of the Year went to Houston Texans defensive end J.J. Watt.
Rightfully so.
All right. Now, and the Pepsi Rookie of the Year went to New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara. So those awards nobody cares about. Let's go into awards that actually matter. The AP Offensive Rookie of the Year also went to New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara. The AP Defensive Rookie of the Year went to New Orleans Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. AP Defensive Player of the Year went to Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald. AP Offensive Player of the Year went to Los Angeles Rams running back Todd Gurley. The AP Comeback Player of the Year went to Los Angeles Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen. I thought that was an interesting one.
Yeah, I completely forgot about him. I know last week we were talking about who could possibly win that award, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not bringing him up.
Yeah, I picked Keenan Allen up off the waiver wire my fantasy football team, and he ended up being a really good, solid player for me.
He had a great season.
Yeah. AP Coach of the Year went to Los Angeles Rams coach Sean McVay. AP Most Valuable Player went to New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. And, of course, the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2018 goes to Bobby Beathard, a general manager. Ridiculous. Robert Brazile, linebacker. Brian Dawkins, safety. Jerry Kramer, guard. Ray Lewis, linebacker. Wide receiver Randy Moss. Wide receiver Terrell Owens. And linebacker Brian Urlacher.
I was shocked that Brian Urlacher was the first ballot.
I picked Urlacher in my projection last week.
Yep, he did. And I'm also surprised Ty Law didn't get in.
Yeah. Well, I think I went with Baselli. In my projection, but I think I remember saying Ty Law wouldn't surprise me.
The only one we had different was you picked Urlacher and I picked Alan Faneca.
Did we both pick Brian Dawkins?
Neither of us picked Dawkins.
I know neither of us picked Kramer.
No.
Or Robert Brazile.
Well, Kramer, nobody picked Kramer. He was one of those legacy picks or whatever they call him.
Yeah. And again,
so is Beathard.
Bobby Beathard, I don't understand why they put him in as the general manager. Makes no sense to me. anyways, so those are your NFL honors. Let's see. So let's go.
I got some stats to throw in on the honors if you care.
Yeah, I do. I was just gonna go through real quick. Um, so we didn't give a projection on Pepsi Rookie of the Year or FedEx players. AP Defensive Player of the Year. I think we both said Calais Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hey, I mentioned Aaron
you
Donald.
did
Though.
mention Aaron Donald. You did.
I told you he was going to be a candidate.
Both Offensive Rookie Awards, we both agreed on Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive Player of the Year, we were way wrong on that.
You mean we were wrong?
Did you say Todd Gurley?
I said between Gurley and Antonio Brown.
Oh, okay. I said Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I thought it'd be between one of them two because they both turned it on at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Till Brown got hurt, anyways.
We didn't pick Offensive Line of the Year. Yeah, Comeback Player of the Year. We weren't even close on that one.
Yeah.
Now, last week we didn't pick Assistant Coach of the Year, but a couple of weeks before we had talked about it, and we both said Pat Shurmur. So I'm going to claim that we got that one right.
Knuckles.
AP Coach of the Year, we both said Sean McVay. And then Tom Brady, we both said would win MVP. And J.J. Watt, we both said would win Walter Payton Man of the Year. So, yeah. All right, hit me with your stats.
Defensive tackles don't win Defensive Player of the Year very often. Aaron Donald is just the 7th one in history, actually. Alan Page, Joe Green, Keith Millard, Cortez Allen, Dana Stubblefield, and Warren Sapp. So he's joining a pretty impressive list. This is the first time in franchise history a Saints player has won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Marshawn Lattimore, credit. Only 5 players in NFL history that have won Defensive Rookie of the Year went on to become Hall of Famers. It's an extremely small number. Joe Green, Jack Lambert, Lawrence Taylor, Derek Thomas, and Brian Urlacher. What else do I got? Oh, this is an interesting one. 34 running backs have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. 11 of them went on to become Hall of Famers. 9 wide receivers have won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Randy Moss became the first wide receiver to be a Hall of Famer. 8 quarterbacks have won Rookie Offensive of the Year, and none of them went on to become Hall of Famers. Alvin Kamara joins Curtis Martin and Eddie Lacy as the 3rd player to be drafted in the 3rd round of the NFL Draft and win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I can't remember where I read that. Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore become the first duo on the same team to win Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year since 1967. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
And my last one, probably the most interesting, an NFL MVP, Tom Brady, which he was named this year, has not won a Super Bowl since 1999 when Kurt Warner did it. Kurt Warner, Rich Gannon, Sean Alexander, Tom Brady in 2007, Peyton Manning, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, and now Tom Brady again this year have all lost the Super Bowl after being named MVP. So if your team wins MVP, hopefully your team isn't in the Super Bowl because they'll lose.
That's interesting.
That's what I got for those stats.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, man. The Saints racking up both Offensive Rookie Awards was. I don't think it was surprising. I think they were the consensus all the way around. But it's still shocking to see a team that is not known for being very good at the draft be able to knock it out the park like that.
Solid draft. Yeah. And you're not even mentioning guys like Marcus Williams and who else did you have in that class?
So you had Marcus Williams, Trey Hendrickson, Al-Qadim Muhammad.
Trey Hendrickson was a contributor this year.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson was a contributor. Yeah, I mean, it
was a good class.
Ron Ranchak started.
Snap. Of course, Ryan Ramczyk, yeah.
So It was a stacked draft for them for sure. All right. So you have anything else about the honor show? I really think they need to let Rob Riggle host it again.
Yeah, I agree.
Although I did like what's his name last year? Key off Key and Pill.
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't know who you don't watch you don't know who Keegan Michael Key is? Off Key and Pill? Aaron.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's very good too.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah, I do know who you're talking about now. He's on Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't believe
that's where I've seen him before.
Cannot believe you just said that on a sports podcast.
Dude, I love Pitch Perfect. Fat Amy, she's the bomb.
Okay, let's move into NFL news.
Yeah, one thing we probably need to touch on that we haven't yet.
What's that?
One thing we probably need to touch on that we haven't yet.
What's that?
Immediately after our podcast last week, Alex Smith was traded to the Redskins.
Oh, crap. How did I forget about that?
For a third-round pick and cornerback Kendall Fuller, who is arguably the best slot defender in all of football this year.
Yeah.
So I think the Chiefs got a steal. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, very interesting trade.
Yeah, very interesting.
I think the Redskins also probably upgraded at quarterback. I think Alex Smith is better than Kirk Cousins.
I don't.
That's just my opinion.
Well, here's I don't know. It's weird. I think the Redskins. I think it was a good deal for them, mainly because they don't have to worry about the Kirk Cousins thing now. They don't have a quarterback holding them hostage, which I don't think he was holding them hostage. He just wanted what he was due.
Did you hear what they're saying about him?
They're still going to probably franchise tag him.
Yeah, they're going to try to trade him and get something for him.
That's ridiculous. They've ruined.
That pisses me off.
That
really makes me mad. Yeah.
I don't. My thing is, I think Kirk Cousins and Alex Smith are the same quarterback. I give the edge to Kirk Cousins because he's a little younger and a little bit better of a deep down the field thrower,
arm threat.
And so, but I mean, all in all, if you compare them, I think they're a wash. So I don't think Washington got any better. They certainly didn't get worse. And so I think that Kirk Cousins has more to offer some of the other quarterback needing teams, especially the Denver Broncos, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Minnesota Vikings. I think those three teams are all perfect fits for him.
Yep.
So I would hope that he goes there. I don't want to see him go to the Bills or to the Jets. Pat Shurmur's already ruined his head coaching career a second time by committing to Eli Manning, so he won't be going there. Maybe Arizona. Arizona might be. I guess it just really depends on what Fitz is going to do, if that's even an attractive job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah, they're in rebuild mode, in my opinion.
Yeah, they definitely are. So another bit of piece of news is the hashtag MeToo movement has made its way to the Carolina Panthers. Obviously we know about the head coach or owner Jerry Richardson, but now their interim GM Marty Herney has been put on paid leave amid an NFL investigation into harassment.
Wow.
Yep. So currently the Panthers do not have a general manager, while theirs is on paid leave. And he was the interim general manager. And in case you guys don't know, teams are already building out their draft boards. They had the Senior Bowl last week or 2 weeks ago. The combine's coming up. There's a lot of you need a general manager right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important time for one, so that's big. That's under the radar big news for Carolina.
Absolutely. Yep.
um. Trying to think if there's anything. Oh, did you see the Instagram video of Deshaun Watson running on the treadmill?
Yep. First day on the 2018 season, I guess, in his words.
Yeah.
And he's been cleared to start running.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
Yeah, I love Deshaun Watson. I hope he comes back 100%.
Yeah. We talked about Matt Patricia and the Lions. The Eagles have officially set the time and date for their Super Bowl parade this Thursday. For any of listeners in Philadelphia. Speaking of, where we host the podcast at, the website that we use to host it, so we are able to get it to you via Facebook, All Pro Nation, Apple iTunes, and all that other stuff, has analytics software that we can use to kind of see where people are listening from us. And we had several downloads this week in Africa. So we are now worldwide, buddy.
Worldwide, baby.
The All Pro Nation podcast is now worldwide.
Africa. You didn't share that news with me. That's interesting.
I forgot to tell you about that. Africa.
They must be looking. They're all looking for soccer or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. But oh, what about the report that people said that they saw Ryan Shazier walking around?
Yeah, saw that too.
And he came
so
out
he's
and was
got.
like, no, that's incorrect. Like, I can walk, but I need a freaking walker and.
I need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and other than that, am I missing anything big? There really wasn't a whole lot.
I got lots of news.
Do you?
I got lots of news every week. I'm your newsman.
All right, go ahead.
We already talked about this last week. I just had to tweet you in it because I know you love Thursday Night Football. But the NFL has announced a 5-year contract extension with Fox for Thursday Night Football.
Terrible.
Hooray.
Wait, you want to know what's even worse about that? If I've got to watch Thursday Night Football, I'd rather it be on CBS so I can at least hear Tony Romo call the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Romo's a great announcer.
So
absolutely.
Now instead of getting to hear Romo twice a week, I only get to hear him once a week. And if he's not calling a Saints game, I'm probably not hearing him at all. Very disappointing.
I'm trying to think of who are all the Fox announcers. Joe Buck,
Joe Buck, and
Troy Aikman. They got a couple. They got like 5 or 6 of them, don't they?
Yeah, but those are that's your main one. I would put money. That's the one doing Thursday night.
Oh, Charles Davis is one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who you are. The NFL has already picked out its Mexico City game for 2018. That will be between the Los Angeles Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. They have not set a date for that yet. Mike Jerky of ArizonaSports.com says the Cardinals are expected to release Adrian Peterson. That's not really much of a surprise, but it is newsworthy. And speaking of Adrian Peterson, he came out and said he wants to play 4 more years. Just call her quits, man. Go ahead. You got something you want to add?
Oh no, I thought you were done. I just remembered something else I saw the other day.
Bengals running back Jeremy Hill says he intends to test the market. It's a pretty crowded backfield in Cincinnati with rookie Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard. Vikings cornerback Terrence Newman says he wants to play again this season. He is currently a free agent. I'm not sure if the Vikings will bring him back or not. I'm sure they will, but he will be 41 by the time the 2018 season is finished, which I think would put him at the oldest defender in the league. James Harrison's got to be up there too, I think.
Yeah, James Harrison's like 90 years old.
Yeah. Larry Fitzgerald said on NFL XM radio that he will not commit to anything yet. He's going to weigh his options, and he'll make a decision within 2 weeks, I think. He also said that he will not play for anybody but the Cardinals next year. I really respect Larry Fitzgerald's loyalty greatly. Some sad news. Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson
Oh, that was terrible.
was killed in a car accident the Sunday morning of the Super Bowl by an alleged drunk driver. Colts owner Jim Irsay has offered to pay for the funeral of Jackson and the Uber driver that was with him. So, prayers to his family.
Yeah, that was terrible. Killed by a drunk driver, huh? Am I right on that?
Yeah, it said alleged drunk driver, so that's what the report said anyways. Something else we did not talk about in our Super Bowl recap. Gronk's interview after the game. He said he is going to think about his future and he will not commit to playing in 2018. I'm guessing that was all emotion speaking after a tough loss in the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Man, look, he's getting banged up.
Yeah, he's had a ton of injuries the past 2 years.
So it wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't surprise me.
I think I'd be shocked
at all.
But if it does happen, it just seems like everything is absolutely imploding in New England with Belichick retirement talks, rumors.
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler, that weird situation. And then Gronk now. I mean, what's going to happen to Brady? Brad Childress has, after retiring a few weeks ago, has came back and he is now joining Matt Nagy, his former co-coach.
He just won't go away.
Yeah, he's joining the Bears as an offensive consultant. I wish he would just retire. Nobody likes Chili. And then a couple player news. There's some player news already. The Saints cut defensive tackle Nick Fairley with a non-football illness designation. Doesn't look like he's ever going to play again.
Yeah.
They also released defensive tackle Tony McDaniel today. And the Raiders cut cornerback David Amerson, who already has a meeting set up tomorrow with the Chicago Bears. He is technically not a free agent since he was cut right after the season. He's free to sign with anyone he wants to whenever. So that's all I got for news.
Yeah. A couple of things I did forget about that I read. How big of a douchebag is Arthur Blank?
What did he do? I missed it.
So first against the big game against the Saints a couple of weeks ago, and the Saints kind of trolled them with the high school dance team that did the halftime show, and they stood in a 28-3 formation.
Oh, 28-3. Okay.
And then of course on the jumbotron when the Falcons ran out, the Saints had a MARTA bus blocking them on the screen, so you couldn't see. And so of course Arthur Blank came out and complained and said he didn't like it, yada yada yada. Well, then this week he comes out and he talks about how he told Bill Belichick he was pissed off about how they put 283 diamonds on their Super Bowl ring. And it's like, dude, get the frick over it. Like, it's nobody's fault your team can't close a game. Get over it. Move on. So,
I love the bad blood in the NFL.
yeah.
The rivalries makes everything so fun.
And then, of course, the Ravens owner came out and said he contemplated firing John Harbaugh after the 9-7 season and missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I did see that. Something I forgot to mention.
I mean, as much as he's done for that franchise, one bad year.
Let's not forget. I wouldn't even really say the Ravens were bad this year. I think they were probably average, but they had a crap ton of injuries too this year.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. I know Jimmy Smith, one of their best defenders, wasn't 100%, and arguably two of the best guards in all of football, Marshall Yanda and Alex Lewis, both didn't play at all this year either. So
yeah,
they had injuries up and down their roster. So that's not fair to him, I don't think.
Yeah. Shit, I don't think I can think of anything else. I think we've pretty much hit everything, huh?
Yeah, for the past week or so, I would think.
Yeah.
The season is over.
Season is over, man. So sad.
But we're still here.
Yeah, hell
We're
yeah.
here to give you football news. 53 weeks a year. So
there's only 52 weeks in a year.
52 weeks a year. 52 weeks a year. 375 days.
Oh man. Anyways, I think that'll do it. I think Super Bowl was fun. The road to Super Bowl 53 starts now. All the teams are preparing for the draft. So with that, let me go ahead and run through kind of what our plans are. So for the next 4 weeks, we will be doing the State of the NFL series. So every week we will pick 2 divisions, one from the NFC and one from the AFC, and we will break them down. Talk about how we thought they did this year. Did they overachieve, underachieve, or about where we expected? What pieces do they need to add? Who should they be looking at in free agency and the draft? We're going to do that, so that's going to be super super exciting. So we're going to do that over the next 4 weeks. Then that the 5th week, so in 5 weeks will be the day before. It'll be March 13th. That'll be the day before free agency starts on the 14th. But there will be that tampering period that players will already be starting to negotiate with. So that show is going to be jam-packed. Talking about free agency. Of course, the next week we'll do a free agency review of that first wave. And then after that, it's going to be Tanner. It's going to be the Tanner podcast. We're going to do mock drafts. We're going to break down the draft. He's going to give us grade out his players or whatever it is that he does.
Big board. The big board.
It's going to be a lot of fun leading up to that draft day, and then of course we'll have the post draft show that week, and then May, June, and July we're going to be scratching our heads a little bit for some content. We've got the NBA playoffs to talk about.
Player rankings.
Yes. Start of power rankings for what?
Player rankings.
Oh, player rankings, yeah. Start of OTAs and mini camp, start of baseball season. We'll try to hit a little bit of everything those 3 months. And then, of course, August, we hit the ground running hard on the NFL again. So
training camp, yep.
Yeah. So y'all be on the lookout for all those cool shows. If there's something that you want us to discuss, there's gonna be a lot of downtime, man. Send us a message. Reach out to us on Facebook and Twitter. Remember, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at AllProNation. You can check us out at allpronation.com. Allpronation.com is where fans have a voice. If you want to get your voice to be heard about your favorite sport or your favorite team, go to allpronation.com and sign up. You don't have to be a professional writer. You just got to be a fan. If you're really good, we might bring on the podcast every now and then. Who knows? But I think that will do it for tonight's episode. Unless you have
quick question
else.
for you before we sign off here.
What's that?
I never got to ask you about it. Did our winner for the gift bag, did they ever contact us?
Yeah, Carson Miller. He did. He
okay.
He
cool.
sent us an email like 30 minutes after I posted the video. Yeah,
Congratulations, Carson.
He did not wait. So Carson Miller got the All Pro Nation T-shirt and Super Bowl T-shirt. We're still working on T-shirts for the public at large to purchase, but when we work out all those details, we'll let you know.
Awesome.
Yep. So, you have anything else, man?
I think that's everything.
Cool. All right. Well, y'all have a good night. Remember, you can catch us on Twitter. You can find Tanner at purple_post. You can find me at 318 Chris Smith. I changed my Twitter handle.
I like it. More professional.
I'm not a. Well, I used to use my Twitter for my real estate business. In case anybody in the Shreveport area that's listening, Northwest Louisiana, I am a licensed realtor. If you need help, call me. But I used to use Twitter only for that. But Twitter's not a good medium for that. And all I did was talk sports on it.
Sports, baby.
And so I said, well, I'm going to change my Twitter handle. So I did. So I am now at 318 Chris Smith. He's at purple_post. So reach out to us. Be sure to follow us on All Pro Nation, both Facebook and Twitter. There's a lot of y'all listening to this podcast. Go check us out. So, anything else, man?
That's it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one. Peace.